This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to find out how to volunteer, please contact LibriVox.org. She-rab Dong Bu, or The Tree of Wisdom, by Nagarjuna. Translated by W.L. Campbell. Part 2, Sections 41 through 80. 41. The fire which burned the forest became the companion of the wind, and that same extinguished the fire. So has the weak man no friends. 42. Not doing harm to others, not bowing down to low people, not abandoning the path of virtue. These are small points, but really very many. Footnote, i.e., of really great importance. End footnote. 43. Having no fear of disease, endeavoring to associate with the holy, not using the vulgar language of the mean, a day spent thus is greater than 100 years. 44. Whenever the mean find a little wealth, they despise everybody, and are filled with pride. But the virtuous, although they may attain the possession of wealth, remain bowed like ripe rice. 45. Low-class creatures, should they become possessed of wealth or science, think only of quarreling with everybody, like the fox with the blue skin. Footnote, refers to the story of the fox who fell into a vat of indigo and then said he was a tiger. End footnote. 46. If they become possessed of wealth or learning, low people become proud. But even when doubly honored, the wise man will become the more humble. 47. Trade without profit, quarreling with those who have a following, despising to beg and thus poor, delighting in lust, using rough language to young women. These 5 are improper conduct in a man. The peacock, although scorched by heat in summer, would rather hope for rain from the middle of the sky than bend its proud neck to the bad water of the dirty pond. 49. The titi-raw bird preserves its own life with dewdrops, for it fears to be placed under an obligation by begging, and will not even beg from Indra. 50. If you understand real truth, why have a teacher? When the disease is cured, what is the use of the doctor? When the water is crossed, what use is the boatman? What use is a sorcerer to a man without passions? Footnote. A difficult line might be rendered, what is the use of a familiar spirit to an ascetic? End footnote. 51. As long as an evil man is weak, so long is he naturally good, like the waters of a river in autumn, which can be easily crossed by everyone. 52. Where store is made by the mouse, where the cat guards the butter, and the crow is the director of ceremonies, how could reliance be placed in such an arrangement? Footnote. This is obviously an allusion to some story, but the reference has not been traced. End footnote. 53. If there is much discussion about anything, all make boast of their skill, and as all wish to be placed foremost, that gathering is brought to naught. 54. Copulation by day, and sleeping by day, fresh beer, curds, and young people drinking, sleeping with withered old women, these 6 waste the bodily strength. 55. He whose anger causes no fear, who, when pleased, can confer no benefit, who can neither destroy nor subjugate, what avails the anger of such a man? 56. The encounter with the time of misfortune and disease, a time of famine and danger from enemies, being at the king's gate or in Yama's abode, these are all the common remedy, i.e., affect all alike. 57. People strive for worldly things because they want them. It is not done for the sake of righteousness. Like the calf which, seeing that the milk is exhausted, leaves the cow at a distance. 58. Separation from the object of affection, the contempt of one's own people, to be much in debt, association with the evil, to be abandoned by friends who see your poverty. These 5 are not fire, yet they burn the body. 59. He who, when small discords increase, does not attempt to make peace, is like the bee's honey leaking in drops, and the ruin of a country. 60. He who has knowledge is firm. The holy, even when destitute, do not discard moral virtues. Although scorched by the sun's natural heat, the natural cold of snow is not taken away. 61. Those who wish to terminate their sins believe in Buddha. Those who wish to terminate their earthly existences associate with the evil. Those who wish to terminate their families beget fools and idiots. When cereals are to be consumed, the stomach becomes heated. 62. Those blinded by desire do not perceive their sin. The blind man does not see the shape of things. The proud do not perceive their faults. He who regards himself does not perceive real truth. A conqueror, a water channel, a creeping plant, women, and the blind, these 5, how they are led by the crafty, and this leading places them in power of others. 64. The misery which follows pleasure is the pleasure which follows misery. The happiness and misery of mankind revolve like a wheel. 65. The invisible appears before you, and again becomes invisible. What is that of yours, and what are you? Who will be made miserable on that account? 66. Thus the logs of wood, which go down together to the great ocean, are driven apart by every wave. Who will be made miserable on that account? 67. The very wise man conquers rather by forcefulness than by anger. The evil man fails by being angry. O evil men, defeated by defeat, how could you be called to the society of the wise? 68. A big stone, by a great effort, may be thrown to the top of a hill, but can be toppled over by a small effort. Our own faults and virtues are like this. 69. The man who, with regard to something which is not to be done, meddles in the matter, will surely come to grief, like the monkey who turned out the child. 70. He who has entirely forsaken his own interests, and rejoices in those of the other party, will surely be destroyed. How such a man resembles King Rab-Mar. 71. If an astronomer calculates from the sky, he will ascertain the paths of the moon and the stars. But in his house the women folk are at variance, and he does not perceive their various misconduct. 72. The moon's color was apparent in the unsullied water, and you wish to seize the lotus root.